Welcome to the Real News Extra. My name is Fred. I'm the operations manager here at RELAW APC. And joining me today is Jennifer Felten, the principal and founder of RELAW APC. So Jennifer, what problem was California trying to solve with the Subordinate Loan Foreclosure Rule?
So back in 07 and 08, a lot of people had lines of credit and their property values went down.
Okay.
A lot. The result was that many went into foreclosure, many walked away from their homes, many stayed in their homes, but their second was negative, right? Like their first, they owed more on their first than even what the house was worth, right? So the lenders stopped making them make payments. They kind of walked away from the loans. A lot of the lenders wrote these loans off on their books, but the loans never got reconveyed relative to the property. The result is that now, 25 years later, someone goes to sell their house and there's this, second line of credit that, some bank sold to some loan foreclosure company 20 years ago, who we got to go find and who's like, oh, you owe all the money, right? And so there's these old silent seconds, these quiet loans that have been sitting there clouding people's title, and it's affecting. They're getting asked to pay tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars that they didn't know. Some of them may have been resolved via bankruptcy, but not reconveyed. Some of them may have been written off by the lender, and the consumer might have paid taxes, right? So if a lender writes off bad debt, you get a 1099 and you pay taxes, but they sold these liens on pennies on the dollar to third parties. So there's this world of these crazy old liens that are having an effect. I just got reached out by someone recently who, a family member had given a loan to another family member, and now someone's dead, and this lien's still out there. And so when they contacted the heirs, they're like, "Oh, it's all owed." Well, nobody knows what was owed. The two people who were part of this deal are both dead.
They've moved on.
But we're going to have to fight with these people over this. So that's the issue. Short answer of what we're trying to deal with is these old weird things clouding title.
Okay, and so how should the lenders document all of their communication with borrowers?
So the new rule is very onerous for the lender.
Okay.
In fact, I'm highly expecting it to get overturned.
Okay. Time will tell.
Because we have rights. So if you're a lender, you have a right to your claim. And this rule literally wipes out your security in your lien. It doesn't wipe out your lien. So if I'm a lender and I lent $100,000 and I don't follow the new rules, which are retroactive, so I wouldn't have even known I needed to follow them before, my lien is no longer secured against the property. It takes away the security, which I would consider a taking, which is illegal under the Constitution. But someone's going to have to go to court and fight that battle.
Yes.
So the rule says if the lender hasn't been servicing the loan and communicating with the consumer for the last 3 years, their security is wiped away.
Oh, okay.
Right? So again, it doesn't mean the lien doesn't exist, but they'd have to prove the lien, but their security, their ability to lien the house. Now, the law is not really well written from the perspective of, okay, so they don't have a claim, but the law doesn't remove it from title. So you still got to deal with a title insurance company who's got this lien So I think we're going to see a lot of people in court, a lot of people fighting, and ultimately this thing getting thrown out. That's my prediction.
So what options do the borrowers have if they get a foreclosure notice without prior contact?
So if they get a foreclosure notice or they get some demand when they're trying to sell their house, they need to get an attorney who understands this law to advocate for them and make a deal, Because it's going to cost a lot of money to fight this in court, but with the law the way it is, they're going to have leverage that they didn't used to have with that lender to try and get this resolved.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the Real News Extra. If you're enjoying this content, I invite you to click on like or subscribe, and of course, ring that little bell for future notifications. My name is Fred. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.